YouTube. It's your boy Devon here with another film review. Today we are reviewing Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Very excited to review this film. As you know, it is on Netflix. You could definitely go check it out, watch it. Has Viola Davis, Chadwick Boseman. You know him from Black Panther. You know Viola Davis from How to Get Away with Murder. It also has a couple of other people in it. Flynn Turman. He's a very popular black actor. Been in the game for a while now. Normally plays the father, the main character, Cole Domingo. Cole Domingo was in Fear the Walking Dead. And you have Taylor Page, who was in Hit the Floor. Let's talk about the plot. The plot was made by the movie was based off of a play by August Wilson about a recording session that happened in Chicago in 1927. The history, 1927 is when they actually developed the ability to record sound on film or record sound, I guess, for redistribution. They had the radio, but it's the first time they could actually take it and you can play it over and over again. So it's about Ma Rainey in this session, and it's really about how she gets tested and challenged consistently by the trumpeter, who was played by Chadwick Boseman. And honestly, he steals the show. He steals the show. There are films that are about the main character, and there are films when the main character is truly just an object. And it's really about the opposition they have with someone else. A perfect example of this would be Lee Daniels' The Butler. The Butler was the main character, but the film was really about how his son was on the front line during the entire civil rights movement and all the changes going on in America, and because he was a butler, he couldn't actively participate in the politics. So yeah, they record this album. Ma Rainey's very demanding. Chadwick Boseman's character goes by the name of Levi Green. He's quote unquote just trying to, assert his dominance, assert his authority. And in most of August Wilson's plays, because they are plays, it's characters talking. There's action, but it's more about the dialogue between the characters and their backstory. And Levi Green has a very interesting backstory, as well as some of the other characters, and Ma Rainey herself. They're in Chicago. They're in what appears to be definitely the white side of town. And what she's trying to do, basically, to make sure she gets the respect that she would get if she was in the South. The acting was superb. There was no one there I felt like was overdoing it or underdoing it. The plot is a very good plot. It's one of those films that you have to keep watching. And then they revealed all the characters' background stories, and it makes you appreciate everything that happens more. The director, don't have a problem with the director, don't know a lot about George Wolfe. Cinematography wasn't anything special to me. They made it look like the 1920s, but it was nothing that just blew my mind. So I want to touch on a couple of scenes here in the film and tell you if you should watch it or not. So, even though they are musicians, and musicians kind of have the ability to travel, see the country a little bit more, they might get a little bit more respect from white people because white people could use them at this time. All the players, you have, I think it's a saxophonist and a trumpeter, a cello, and piano player. They all tend to discuss, the colored man's problems and what are the colored man's problems in the 1920s. There's a scene where we don't see the scene, we see the aftermath of the scene, where actually Ma Rainey actually hit a white person, and the mob and the crowd looked ready to put them hands on her, but because she was so good at what she did, her manager and the owner of the record label stopped it, paid them off, and kept them going. It talks a lot about childhood trauma, especially Levi Green's character. and makes you understand why he is the way that he is. And Ma Rainey has a couple of lines where she explains how the blues is the black experience. I believe Ma Rainey is the one who was credited with calling that style of music the blues. Someone asked her what it was that she was singing. She said she was just singing the blues. Because we all know black people in America have had a very, very hard time here. And what we went through was unjustified, but it made us stronger. It also talks about something that I think was kind of important. That bothers a lot of people today. Where was God doing all this? Where was God doing Jim Crow and when bad things happen to us? It definitely touches on that. A couple of notes I would say that I realized is that even from the very beginning, the music industry was a shady, shisty, and unfair industry. You can tell when you're watching the film that they're recording this record, and even though Ma Rainey is very demanding, the fact that they're so willing to acquiesce to everything that she wants shows that they know that in the long run scheme, they want to make so much money off of her that they'll deal with this black woman talking to us any type of way in the 1920s Jim Crow. So the music industry has always been taking artists' money. There's also the scene where Chadwick Boseman's character talks about his shoe being stepped on. And that's very prevalent even today, because if someone steps on your shoes, it's going to be a situation. But I believe it also signals or transitions into something else, although in the film, without giving it away, is black on black crime. I hate the term black on black crime, but we're going to call it that for the sake of this video and why it occurs. There's some things that happen in the film that makes Chadwick Boseman's character act out and lash out on his brothers in the band, or particularly one person in the band. And what you see is in the film is that certain things happen to him, and you learn about his background, and he knows, like a lot of us knew, you can't go up against your oppressor or you're going to get killed. So what you do is you take out your anger on someone else that you know you can cause harm to. It's the same way a man or a woman might have an issue at their job and they can't cuss out their boss. They can't cuss out their coworker. Well, you can, but you might get in trouble. And they go home and take it out on their kids or their friends or, their significant other. So I definitely saw that in there. And it's also a precursor or foreshadow to slumming. And if anyone knows what slumming is, slumming was a term that was used by white people definitely in the 1950s, but this shows even before then how if they wanted to know what was cool in America, what they would do is they would go into the black communities, the black bars, the black clubs, see what they were singing, see what they were doing, write the lyrics down, or have one of them write a song for them, give them a couple of dollars, and then go pay a white person to go play it, so that way they can make money off of it in a broader audience. Now, the bigger point of this is, should you watch this film? Yes. This was a very good film. Chadwick Boseman, he stole the show because it's a particular character that we haven't really seen him play. I wouldn't say James Brown is like it. I haven't seen all of his films, but it was a great film. He acted well. It's on Netflix. It's about 1 hour and 56 minutes. Should you watch it? Yes, you should. It gets a thumbs up, 2 thumbs up. It's definitely worth the time. I think you all enjoy it. If you do watch the film and you disagree with me, let me know. On a scale of 1 to 10, I will give it an 8. That's all I have for you today. My name's Devon. If you want me to keep making these videos over black films and reviewing them and critiquing them, follow my channel. Drop a comment down below. Be safe and be blessed, y'all. Peace.